neutral position. Quantum Crest Locator still to play for. Piggy last man standing, down to no shields. That information comes, and that means time to grab the ball and time to bring it red.
Glory doing exactly what he's been doing all tournament long. Not only providing kills, not only providing damage, but also being happy to be that player who holds that ball, rotates that ball as well. How Glory has grown throughout Halo Infinite has been insane. I remember giving him a hard time when he first joined the European roster, first was invited onto one of these top teams, and he looked a little bit uncomfortable. He looked a little bit nervous on the main stage, but now he does not look out of place at the very top of Halo Infinite. I mean, maybe he could be one of the key reasons why Luminon win not only this game, but if you tie this one up, you can start to think about potentially winning that series. But it still feels like, Shurs, there's so much to go here because we have the best of 7 rather than best of 5. Typically at this point, we'd be thinking about sending it to a best of 5, a shootout in Slayer, but no, we get more objective games. And Luminon Gaming, they will start to be thinking about that one step further because they are playing this incredibly here on Lattice.
And who does not want more Halo at the World Championships? Precision down to no shields. The issue is Snipe Drone also has none to play with. Precision takes the skies, but he gets cut down. He was not falling with grace. Snipe Drone trading elbows with Jackson, but the Englishman a little bit too strong. Killing spree locked in. Glory's there as well. And you speak about the meteoric rise of Glory. Snipe Drone has been ever present for years. One of the greatest of all time when it comes to European players.
Definitely has. When you think about players that have stayed throughout European history, that have been up there since Halo 5, since Halo Reach, since Halo 4. Snipe Drone's name has echoed throughout Europe for quite some time now. And he's seen many a different roster, but he has survived every culling that we've seen of European players going through every iteration of this roster. And here he is on the main stage on Championship Sunday, finally.
And boy, doesn't he look comfortable here. 19, 3, and 10. Make it 20. Absolutely dominant here. Luminon, 52 seconds to Envy's 1. And a complete flip of what we've seen on the assault game type. We spoke about how important the sniper rifle would be. How good Glory can be with the sniper rifle, Snipe Drone, and having that great equalizer, something you can just showcase a little bit more skill, turn the tide for your team. And we've seen that time and time again from these European boys here and now.
Well, I know I've said it a few words, it's a buzzword at this point, but Envy, they like structure. When you think of Aquarius, just kind of set spawns, symmetrical map, it's very easy to try and bully another team when you do find yourself in control, but here on Lattice, there is going to be that element of trying to move and rotate, especially when the ball comes into the equation as well. And Luminon have done very well at not allowing Envy to get into that structure that they desire.
Ball dropped.
But now for the first time, Envy have been able to slow down the pace of this game. Luminon off spawn. Maybe going to be looking towards Glory to do something in the position he's found himself in. Has got behind enemy lines, does get the opener. SLG finds one as well. And that is a very quick break from Luminon. So important to shut down Envy once they get into control here. And they get all 4 members down.
Enemy has the ball.
Glory ventures forward, gets that sniper rifle again. This could spell misfortune. He's got some real bad intentions. Shields get ripped away from Jackson.
Enemy has the ball.
Like he's using white spirits to take away the bait.
Ball dropped.
No scope will not connect. And he starts to waste the ammo, recognizing that he's between a rock and a hard place. But hold on! He will not go away without taking one with him.
I wonder if that was just collateral damage trying to waste the ammo at that point, and you just walked into the worst place you could have.
Ball dropped.
And all those bullets are now gone, so Descendant sadly not able to make an impact with the sniper rifle. Instead, it's going to have to use the bandit instead now. MVR still in this one. 40 points behind, 2 minutes left on the clock. So you're not in panic stations just yet. However, if they see themselves go 4 dead again, it might be the end of this one, allowing Luminon just to set up perfectly. With the player advantages at the moment, Envy are not scoring. Luminon are doing so well off spawn to frustrate them. Just be a thorn in the side, getting behind enemy lines. Look at Snipe Drone. They are constantly wondering, where is Snipe Drone? Well, here he is, getting in front of enemy faces again. It doesn't matter he's not getting kills. They are just stopping Envy scoring, and now the ball's been returned.
A constant irritation. The Europeans continue to be 3 dead now for Envy. And SLG just patiently waits for the spawn to pop up again. And perhaps they're quite happy to let this clock run down, because the impetus is now on Envy to be the ones to make the change, to make the aggressive plays. And they will take it to safety, and now the option is there. Get some points, sure, but play the ball, if need be.
Ball out of bounds.
And the ball has now been played. Piggy's in trouble. 2 members of Luminon collapse. 3 dead for Envy once more, and they run the same play back. 3 dead again for Envy, and Luminon can continue to score.
Snipe Drone's doing it again. Lingering like a bad smell in the open bracket. You know it's there, but you just can't find it. Someone needs to put on the deodorant. Someone needs to shut down Snipe Drone. And he is bullying Envy at the moment. 28 kills. And Luminon looking like they're going to close out this map and tie us up 2-2.
4 dead for Envy. 5 seconds all that's required for Luminon to close out this game. This series is all tied up 2-2.
I think when we saw it on paper, we knew this was going to be a brilliant series of Halo. And these 8 players have not disappointed. And I think the right decision was made that this was a best of 7. Wouldn't have felt right if suddenly we go into a Game 5 Slayer here. But it is going to be a chance now for the players to take a little breather, reset, because it's all even Stevens. It's like these first 4 didn't really matter now at this point, right? That's how it works.
It's oftentimes when it comes to Championship Sunday, we talk about Optic Gaming, Shopify Rebellion, FaZe, SSG, and we call them the heavyweights. And perhaps these 2 are light heavyweights, punching above their weight class. But they find themselves front and center, staring at one another, and a place for top 3 up for grabs. Both players, both teams have already hit the mat a couple of times, but this time the rules are a little bit different. Best of 7s. You can hit the mat one more time and still have life, still have some air in the lungs. But boy, oh boy, has this one been back and forth. One thing we can say for Luminon is they've gotten themselves back into the series twice. But what will it look like when they take the lead and they start to ask some difficult questions of Envy?
And this time when a Slayer comes round in the series, it will be a chance for them to take the lead rather than try and tie it like they did previously on Solitude. But as we look back at some of the highlights here of Lattice Oddball, what an impressively played game it was from Luminon from start to finish. From ball rotations, from the holds they had, to the breaks of setup as well. When Envy did get that control, it was very rarely for long. Luminon were just so quick off the spawn to immediately try and find a route to get behind enemy lines. As it's a beautiful series layout to look at, even at the moment, but we move into Slayer Livefire. 3-3 for both teams. If you're brave to try and call this one.
It's a coin flip. How often do we say that about a Slayer? But then when it's in your screens, your eyeballs lock onto 3-3 in the green and blue, nothing to separate them. There's been nothing to separate them in the series, nothing to separate them in the records on Livefire Slayer. But someone is gonna have to take it. Taking a look at the stats then. 2 superstars. And perhaps they have not been superstars for long, but their reputation is growing and growing. Wutum and Piggy. 12 kills versus 20 with a KD of 2.50 and a damage difference of 1,009. The man from Finland, he knows how to put that crosshair in the right place, and he knows how to put down maximum damage.
And throughout this tournament, both of these players have been finding the sniper rifle on Livefire Slayer as well, both Piggy and Wutum. So they will naturally be 2 players to focus on to try and be that difference maker. I remember yesterday, Piggy picking up the sniper rifle a few times, and when he was connecting with it, it was brilliant, but also it was about his movement and his positioning with that sniper rifle to keep it away from the enemy teams. You have a responsibility when you have the sniper. Yes, you need to be hitting shots. Yes, you want to be dealing damage. At the same time, you need to be making sure the enemy team does not get it out of your hands. Either be wasting ammo when you do feel like you're under pressure, tossing it on the map, of course, being on live fire. just kind of staying and rotating with your team as well. You can take powerful positions, you can take off angles, but if you leave yourself in a vulnerable position where you can get flanked, suddenly you give the opportunity to the other team to take off with the map.
I think maybe something we don't talk about enough when it comes to the player who is trusted with that sniper rifle, and with that trust, and the saying is heavy is the head that wears the crown, but maybe heavier are the hands that hold the sniper rifle at times, because you know, one misplay, you hand that sniper rifle over to the opposition, and all of a sudden your day can go from bad to worse. We all often speak about momentum and how important it can be. Confidence, momentum, snowballs, these are the buzzwords we use here and on the desk, and for good reason. And as the tide started to turn, is the wind now in Luminon's sails after a dominant oddball on Lattice?
Or could it be SLG who makes the difference here for Luminon Gaming? Both teams have already lost this map and mode so far this tournament. Luminon sadly lost to Cloud9 earlier in the tournament, and Complexity were able to take down Envy as well. But what that does mean is both teams have had VOD to look at. They would have known Saturday night when they finished their games, when they head into Sunday, they would have looked at this series layout and they could plan effectively. What went wrong? What did Cloud9 do that perhaps was the difference maker? Were they maybe taking too much control of that sniper rifle? Did they have better power-up control? Were we maybe a little bit hasty to try and push on spawns? Were we not waiting for each other? All these questions that have to be answered and then put into effect here going into Game 5.
What a weekend of Halo it has been up until this point. There have been upsets here, there, and everywhere. Cloud9 topping their pool. TSM eliminating FaZe Clan, but then getting toppled themselves right after it. But now Envy and Luminon, locked level, complete deadlock after 4. This is the true swing game, I believe. We will see what these teams are made of come the end of this layer.
It's such a huge map. I mean, obviously, for reasons that are so evident I don't even need to explain, but importantly for me, when you look at that series layout, you look at Game 6, it heavily favors Envy, in my opinion, TTF win. Whereas then you look at map 7, a map that favors Luminon when it comes to Origin Slayer. And it could be this one we look back at really made the difference when it comes to this best of 7.
The arm wrestle continues. Score 2-2. We're in a shootout. Typically this would be the one to decide it. But fear not, folks, there's still a lot more Halo left in this series. We're happy to say, best of 7s on Championship Sunday. We will truly see who is the better team, not who got lucky with map mode combinations, with layouts. Who got their worst map pools, who got their best. After 7, there can be no excuses.
But it's a far better start for Envy. Descendant's the one who gets the first opportunity with the sniper rifle, but this is where I said the responsibility falls on your shoulders. It's about staying alive at this point, and he is under fire from grenades, but does just about stay alive to the point where he can now put this sniper rifle to work. And sadly for Luminon, they were not able to shut it down. Wooten does spot him out though, so that means you have to reposition here. And it's about just finding an angle where you can maybe catch someone off guard, get a free shot to the head. And that will allow the extra space, it'll give you that extra player on the map to then take advantage and push. Just about misses, but he does connect with a second.
Did that play, it didn't, stayed on the ledge. And he actually thought the better of throwing it off this time. Extra body shot, and he's lucky he did. Killing spree for Descendant. Not finding the faces, not flashy, but effective. Hit the body, take out the bandit, get the kill.
Glory and Snipe Drone do tag team to take down 2. Take us within 3 already, but this has been a fast-paced start to the game from Envy. A team who does like to play slow at times, but they also know how to change up that pace when they need to, and perhaps that's something they learned from Lattice Oddball. They have to try and match the pace that Luminon sets at times. Otherwise, you will find yourself getting backstabbed over and over with Luminon constantly trying to out-rotate you. Descendant, remember once tried to play this sniper rifle, but now will finally put that last bullet to work. It's a 5-kill lead here for Envy.
It's almost indicative of how important this map is. Not wanting to make the mistake and leave the sniper rifle on the map. And perhaps it just staying on the ledge meant that he could continue to be a force and a presence on the map. Applying so much pressure, the shots didn't even need to connect. As long as Luminon know where the sniper rifle is, they have to avoid it. Glory down bottom middle, just about uses that repulsor to get himself out of harm's way. But Descendant continues to be an influence elsewhere, continues to be a nuisance. Jackson with the camouflage, and this is something that Luminon have not done time and time again in this series. They keep allowing power-ups to go the way of Envy.
This is starting to get out of control now, over a 10-kill lead. Think back to yesterday when Envy were playing Cloud9. They did have a significant lead, up by 10. Cloud9 were able to recover right at the end, but did still lose out 50 to 48. Can't allow Envy to have such a lead because they will just slowly start to grind out this victory as they get towards the end of that game, just finding trade after trade so they can get over that finish line. Doesn't matter if you win by an inch or a mile. It's 13, it's 14 now. And this is starting to get a little bit ugly. It's double the scoreline as Envy looking to try and make a statement and take the lead once more in this series.
The methodical machine of Envy. The gears start to really turn now. Putting Luminon on the back foot, putting them in the blender at times. Descendant has the sniper rifle again. Drops down behind Glory, who was not looking at him and had no shields. Easy pickings. This time, Descendant does play the sniper rifle as it just about hits the drink.
SLG gets shut down by Jackson from a distance. I mean, how do you even mentally recover from this start? Glory tries to push out, but had no support. Woosum arrives a little too late. And this one might already be over with how Envy are currently playing. Luminon would need one clean break, one all four dead, and then they would have to do exactly what Envy are doing to them. Showing aggression, pushing those spawns, not allowing them to push out for free. But with only now 12 kills to require, you feel like maybe this one, you already have the writing on the wall.
So far, this has been as close to perfection as you're likely to see in a live fire Slayer. Still almost up double the kills, requiring only 12 to retake the series lead. And Luminon with so much to do, you start to fear the worst as Descendant continues to hit shots. Did not miss a single bullet on Snipe Drone and puts him away. 3 dead now for Luminon. And perhaps this Slayer now just getting too far from their grasp.
I heard the roar from Descendant from here as well, all the way at the back of the venue. He let Snipe Drone know about that one. This game's over. There is no coming back from this one. Luminon are just all over the place. They have not been able to find their footing. Envy look dominant. Envy making a statement. Envy looking like they want to shut this one down in 6. Because remember, we head to CTF where they have been phenomenal so far. Not just this tournament, but this season in general.
This series has been absolutely incredible. Just when one team looks to get momentum and be dominant, we go into the next map trying to tell you that story, trying to shift the narrative. Then the team comes out, bounces back. Envy, every single time the series has been tied up, they've had a massive response. And that's what we've seen here in the Slayer. As they are just 1 kill away from retaking the lead, and they are just 1 map away from the elimination finals.
That was incredible. In a map mode which had a huge question mark over it when it comes to this series layout of both of these teams. Remember, both were 3-3. Both had already lost this so far this tournament against teams that are already out. And clearly, Envy found that recipe. They found what went wrong before, and they adjusted. And they just felt full of life in that game. Compare it to what we saw in Lattice, where they were unable to get going. And it really is incredible to watch this pendulum swing back and forth yet again in favor this time of Envy. And just when Luminon maybe thought that they had momentum on their side, Envy are quick to whisk it away from them. Sadly now what this does mean for Luminon is they only have 1 more chance. Otherwise they will be out of this tournament. And for Envy, that's when the heart starts to race. You start to say, hey, we are 1 game away from top 3. From the elimination finals, from our best ever finish in our history. And excuse me, I think I said Forbidden earlier rather than Fortress, but I'm sure you will forgive me for saying it. They are 4-0 On Fortress CTF are Envy across this season. They are the second best team that we have seen on this map mode combination throughout the HCS. It is all pointing towards blue. We've learned already, Shurs, the form book is not always the way things go here. On the Halo World Championship, maybe Luminon can go against the grain to send us to a map 7.
The Slayer was absolutely textbook. 50 to 25 at stake on Championship Sunday. And every single time Luminon seems to be getting a sniff, Envy find a response. And this is the perfect map on the horizon for Envy to see in the series layout. And there are your flag runners. Descended 6 caps versus Glory's 2, but 7 steals apiece and 5 cap assists. These two players are the ones to get things started.
And it maybe tells more of a story than you'd think just looking at those stats. Descendant will start and will finish the run. However, Glory is usually the one who will steal it, hand it off to someone else, and then support and be a little bit more aggressive. And perhaps that tells us the style of play that we're going to witness here as we do go into Fortress CTF. Envy are going to wait until they get that 4 dead, that perfect chance to run the flag, whereas perhaps Luminon are a run and gun kind of team. A couple of players are down, sure, we'll pull that flag and we'll kill you as we go. How will those play styles clash though here? Who will that actually bode well for? There's only one way to find out. 7-0 record is pretty insane. And of course 4-0 throughout this season when it comes to Fortress CTF. It means no matter what mode they're playing on, Fortress just seems to be the perfect place for Envy, and it could be the perfect spot for them to find themselves in the elimination finals.
Methodical Halo up against Chaos. Luminon Gaming on their final lifeline, and it's not phone a friend, let me tell you. Jackson's got the overshield. Yet another power-up goes the way of Envy, and he's already behind enemy lines.
Last alive though. 2
flags get pulled. Bootum hits a massive shot. Jackson will fall. And Luminon Gaming have an opportunity here, a massive chance to take the lead. But
Snipe Drone goes down.
Yep, Slays go against them.
Snipe Drone was trying to toss that one out, and then again being that nuisance, that thorn in the side, but Envy were able to catch him out. And if it wasn't for the overshield, maybe it would have looked very different, but Luminon had to turn and face Jackson. They couldn't allow him a free run there. They did very well to shut him down, but that shows the power of the overshield and the difference that it can make. Speaking of making a difference, Descendant shuts down the other sniper and takes the ammo away from it as well. Snipe Drone, though, will force it off the map. A heads-up play here from Descendant.
Been really impressed by Descendant's performance in this series. He's not put a foot wrong. Making the right choices, the right decisions, time and time again. Envy, though, all trapped inside this spiral staircase. Snipe Drone gets through. Precision tries to get away. And they've dealt with the pressure and the presence of Snipe Drone. As now SLG forced away for his teammates to spawn back up and settled for a trade. The map will slow down. And Envy can venture forward once more.
It's such a different map as well, with no sniper rifles on said map. And both teams will be aware of it. They know the ammo was scooped into one. They know it was tossed off. So you've got to wait for those snipers to spawn before really you can start to take any sort of control with said weapon. But now Glory's going to be the last remaining player. We're going to see the first attempt from Envy.
The sound cue came. Glory giving up the ghost. 2 dead for Envy. 3 for Luminon. Another power up, this time in the chest of Descendant. And Envy drive this flag forward. And Luminon just do not have a response, nor enough numbers on the map as Envy open up the scoring.
Envy strike first. Envy start to creep their toes into the door of the elimination finals. And they answer maybe the first question that was posed from Luminon Gaming of can you carry on that momentum from the previous? But now Luminon need to respond here. Envy have been able to control that overshield and it has paid dividends. Snipe Drone is able to get into the enemy base though, and we've already seen what a nuisance he can be, but Jackson says, all right, you can play that game. Maybe I'll start to think about being a thorn in the side from this angle. And here's that run and gun strategy I was talking about from Luminon. There isn't even 4 dead for Envy, but they do start to move that flag together.
Let's pull the flag first, ask questions later. So 40 They've come undone. And now Precision with the sniper rifle in his hands. Envy send their flag back home. And Precision can plant his feet and find some angles, waiting for information. As he rotates over towards the snipe tower, he will be ever present on the map. Takes a couple of ticks of damage, knows exactly where SLG is located. But the Frenchman will wait for his shields to come back before he ventures out once more. Snipe drone gets a kill, but Precision answers back in kind. And it's all Envy right now. They're the ones posing the questions and forcing Luminon to come up with answers. And so far, so good for Precision.
He spotted him, he called him out, and then he drilled the bullet into his head. There's going to be another overshield. It's the third one in a row here for Envy, and sadly Luminon are going to have to try and just battle from their base, but against the overshield, against the sheer presence that Envy currently have, it's going to be a difficult one. 3 are dead, but it's a slight fumble. Maybe an opening, maybe an opportunity here for Luminon to shut it down.
Hands are sweaty, knees are weak, arms spaghetti. The flag a little bit too slippy for the hands of Precision, but his trigger finger's been hitting all day long. The flag already made so much progress. Luminon trying to play defense, holding the high line, but not good enough. As Piggy slams in Envy's second flag, 1 away from the elimination final.
Such a good recovery from Envy after the small fumble. Luminon looked like maybe they had done enough to stop it, and they positioned themselves to deny the capture, but Piggy just steals it away from them. And now are Luminon starting to think about what could have been here, or will there be a little bit of a late resurgence back into this game? There is still 7 minutes left for them to work with, but they have to start getting these overshields. And even though we've been on the POV of Piggy, of Precision, Jackson for me has been the key factor for Envy with where he's been positioning himself, the anchor position he's found himself in. And of course, when we go over to him, he gets taken down by SLG, but he has done so much this game.
Snipe drone with a little bit of desperation, tosses the flag, sacrifices his life. Glory spins around, tries to get the kill, settles for a trade. That suits Envy down to the ground as Jackson takes map control once more. He continues to output maximum damage, maximum pain here. And is the seed of doubt starting to really grow and flourish in the minds of Luminon Gaming? The biggest series of their careers. And is this to be the toughest defeat of their careers? There's still time to change things. 6 minutes to be exact.
But Envy have got the upper hand yet again, and look at the timing for it. It's another overshield. It's another advantage. It's another chance for Envy to move forward, but Precision is the last remaining player. At least that does bode well for Luminon, that it is not going to be an easy flag pull here, but they still have to worry about him. They still have to force him out of this base. The good thing is that overshield has been depleted, and Snipe Drone will get the trade. But who is going to step up for Luminon here? They've tried to run a couple of flags, but it has been when Envy is still up. They need to get something a little bit more solid.
Halo was incredible. The layers, the margins that in which you can win and lose a game. Precision done the best thing possible there, and that was by doing absolutely nothing with the overshield, remaining in the basement. Why, you ask? Because Luminon were forced to all turn around and deal with that threat before they could take map. And what does that do? Buy Envy more time to come off the respawn and take space. But the Luminon siege, here it comes. They're laying waste to Envy right now, but they need to get some flags on the move.
This is going to be their best chance. They were able to get a couple down. There was a sniper shot hit by Glory. Envy definitely on the back foot right now, but they are winning individual fights. They do get the trade. Is anyone in position to run this flag? That I'm unsure of. And it's again another big fight from Jackson in another powerful position as 3 go down for Luminon. Envy recover the map. Envy deny the pull from Luminon. And Envy creep ever forward here, closer to the elimination finals, closer to their best ever finish in Halo history. Guaranteed top 3 and a chance, a stab at either Optic Gaming or Shopify Rebellion, depending who falls from that winner's bracket.
And you can see exactly why this is one of Envy's best map and modes, one of the best in the league at this map and mode combination. Every single overshield has gone in their chest. Oh, one's down. But perhaps now is the time, perhaps now is the chance. Because so far it's been perfection from Envy. And Descendant drops the overshield, settles for a trade, but Piggy is there now. Relentless pressure. And the pressure is really starting to tell as Piggy falls. Can someone take control? Precision is the man to lock it into his chest once more.
Look how many players were just sent towards that overshield. Envy did not let Luminon even have it. There would have been so many teams that would have said, all right, we can leave it. We don't need to just send bodies here. But Envy know that by sending bodies, they are also delaying time. They are denying Luminon control. Glory will fight back to stay alive, but now the flag can start to move. Jackson is moving it, but there's already spawners for Luminon. But again, this all is advantage Envy. Snipe Drone, the last remaining player. Flag can start to move yet again, but Snipe Drone has to get the kill and will. Luminon hold on for now.
Snipe Drone gets a massive double kill. Precision remains a thorn in the side for Luminon. SLG finally clears him out. The issue that Luminon are running into time and time again is Halo continues to be played on their side of the map.
2 minutes and 40 left for Luminon Gaming. On the brink of elimination from the Halo World Championship, and even though top 4 would be the best ever placement for a European team at a World Championship, it would still be a disappointment for them with how close they are to breaking even further into that top 3. But now Envy can play defensive. They can hold the base. They can hold this 2-cap lead.
Descendants set the line. They're happy to hold what they have for now. Snipe Drone slides forward. Descendant rips his shields away. Precision gets the kill. Overshield pops up once more. And you guessed it. Precision's got it again. Envy have got it again. And they drive forward once again.
It's tough really to say for Luminon that they have time here. But they have to believe. They have to at least try. And that may leave them vulnerable. It may leave their flag open to being run by Envy as well. But this is where you have to dig deep. This is where you have to throw all the eggs in the basket now at this point. You can't afford to just sit back and allow this to happen. But sadly, when Descendant has the sniper rifle in this position, you are so vulnerable. And SLG, he knows it. He wants to run that flag, but he knows exactly where Descendant was earlier, and that just delays the inevitable. 1 minute and 15. I don't think there's going to be time here for Luminon. And I think Envy know it as well. They are so close to tasting success here. Maybe they can already taste it.
At the start of this map, it was hope for Luminon. But that has soon turned sour to desperation into the final minute. And the issue is for the Europeans, it's not them with the hands on the flag. It's Envy who continue to put Luminon on the back foot. And they're unsheathing the sword. And they're starting to swing and put that final stab into the chest of the Europeans' hopes and dreams.
Desperate attempts from Luminon to pull the flag has again left them vulnerable. But they have not been able to progress with it. Snipe Drone trying again, but he will fall to Descendant. And Envy know they just need to deny over and over again, and they will be in the elimination finals.
SLG falls. Glory 2. Envy have done enough. And they might even add insult to injury here by pushing the third and final flag all the way home into the final seconds. But time is irrelevant. Jackson picks it up. Jackson scoops it home. And Envy win the series. They're going to the elimination finals.
Their best ever placement in Halo history. Uncharted territory. But they did not look out of place. Top 3 secured, and their eyes set on whoever drops down from that winner's bracket out of Optic and Shopify. It has been their season.
To be honest, I'm a Luminon fan. I like SLG a lot.
From top 8 to top 6 to top 4, and now top 3.
So you hate to see it. You hate to see it.
Stage of them all.
But congrats to Envy.
Can they go any further?
A win's a win.
Biggest question here, Shurs. Can they
Happy Sunday, guys. What up with it? What up with it?
On the flip
How we
side,
feeling?
Luminon, again, we have to give them their credit. It is the best ever placement for a European team at a Halo World Championship. And whilst it will be a bitter pill to swallow now, they can still give themselves a firm pat on the back. And families in the audience on both teams supporting the young men on the stage. But it is Envy who get the last laugh.
Congratulations to Envy. Commiserations to Lumenon Gaming. Both teams exceeding expectations at this World Championships, and confirmation of what we've seen. If you missed it, you missed an absolute banger. Games 1 and 2 traded evenly apiece. 3 and 4 traded once more. But
is it gonna be? Is it set yet? I don't think like the grand finals are set, but it's gonna be Shopify, Rebellion, and Optic. For like the either the semi. I don't know if it's the grand finals. It might be the grand finals, but I think it's like the one before the grand finals. And then lower bracket, it looks like it's gonna be Envy, and I'm not really sure. We'll have to. I think they have another match before we find that out. Sadly. But I'm gonna cut the cam. I just wanted to say hi. Making potato soup on the side. We got all the stuff done for the rest of the day, so we're in just chill mode. It's good to be here. Yeah, exciting end to the day for day 3. And cheers. We excited.
Let's get his thoughts from Blaze. Take it away, fella.
Thank you, Shurs. Everybody get loud for Envy. Top 3 performance here at the Halo World Championship. And I got Descendant with me on the main stage, man. Jason, talk to me about how does it feel to be able to come out here and not go to a Game 5 and perform the way that y'all know that y'all can here on a Sunday?
Yeah, it feels amazing to definitely not go Game 5. As we know, we don't really have a good track record for Game 5s. So the key is for us to just don't go Game 5 at all.
Now, when it comes down to this series here against Lumenon, there was some close matchups in this one. What was the game plan to take down these guys?
There wasn't really any game plan, particularly to how they play the game. It's more or less just focus on us, how we perform and how we play, just keep a clear mind and just work together as a team. And all the work that we've done, all the scrims and stuff will pan out.
It really did pay off, man. You guys' teamwork up there was phenomenal. Now, your past Worlds performances, top 12, into a top 3, your best place in all season. What do you want to say about your teammates and everything that you guys have done just to get to this point so far, even though the job's not done yet?
Yeah, so to my teammates, I'm beyond proud. This team has kind of been like a family to me in the sense of like, this is the longest team that I've ever had, and it's really, truly is like a brotherhood for us. We've all kind of came from the gutters, you know what I mean? Kind of just scraps left out to rot, and we somehow managed to, to find each other and to play on this big of a stage, you know what I mean? And perform so well. It's truly a blessing. So.
It really is a blessing, and you guys represent this Envy brand so well. Get it out the mud, get it out the gutter, and working so hard here on this Sunday. And I only got one question for you, and it's a simple one. You guys got what it takes to win this tournament today?
I truly believe, yeah. I truly believe if we come at perform at the best of our abilities, I think we can bring home Papa Hastro another ring. So
you heard it here. They want to bring home Hastro another ring here on this Sunday, and that's going to do it for us on the stage. Lot, take it away.
Thank you so much, Blaze. Wow, Envy, they continue on their run. Actually, I love that interview from Descendant as well. You can see how much it means to them. And also just to take a little peek behind the curtain of the team and how they're feeling, and also the chemistry, and to hear about kind of the brotherhood that has formed, it being the longest roster that Descendant has been on. Tony, it's actually really important to have such good chemistry and dynamic as a team, especially in big moments like this. You have to have so much trust in one another to get the job done, because it's going to come down to the wire. You're not always on a Sunday going to come out and just completely destroy your competition. It's going to be tight. It's going to come down to the wire. And Tony, if you rely on each other and have trust and want to win for each other, it makes a big difference.
Yeah, I mean, Envy really are a beautiful underdog story. I mean, think about their paths to get to where we are right now. So many teams that these players have been dropped from, and people doubted them. Well, they came together and they found each other and now became a family, a brotherhood, like you said, and they are showing what they are truly made of. Envy have continued to get better and better, and the sky is the limit. When Descendant says he believes he can win this tournament, he believes that, and so does his team.
And you have to believe it. And Clutch, you've been there so many different times before as well. Belief is one thing, but skill and executing is a whole other ball game. Talk to me about what you've seen from Envy going into this one against Luminon. That's going to have you convinced heading into this Elim final that they managed to take a series from either Shopify or Optic.
Yeah, I think it's the growth and the development and the experience that these guys now have. We've seen such highlight clips from the likes of Precision, from Descendant, like some of the most individual skilled plays we've seen in all of Infinite come from those two. It was a matter of, do they ever figure it out in fours? And I feel like this Envy roster has figured it out online for so long. We've been waiting for them to create these moments at a tournament. And what a time to do it. The last chance they get in their careers here in the HCS, and they make the most of it so far. I truly believe if those two are firing, they're going to be a problem for whoever drops down into that elimination finals.
The words I think of when I think of Envy, it's about dang time. And you saw the combination of Descendant and Precision, the decision. That was beautiful.
It certainly was indeed, and what a beautiful run through the elimination bracket it has been for Envy. Going down into round one, they have made the most out of this opportunity, as was said by my analyst, and I've got to say Envy sitting pretty right now. 4-2 is a really convincing win against Europe's finest, and that brings me on to say, of course, commiserations to Luminon Gaming, but a top four finish for them. It is history making, so incredible stuff. Should be incredibly proud as well. Is the winners bracket side of things, of course, our winners finals happening very shortly. Shopify Rebellion versus Optic Gaming. That one is going to be a banger. I cannot wait to see how that one goes, because I have questions. Shopify, they're looking really good and they know what it takes on a Sunday to win this thing. Optic Gaming looking a little bit shaky yesterday, although getting the job done on the right side of things. Clutch, how are you feeling?
The appetizer's over. I'm ready for the main course, and we get the exact two teams that deserve to be in the winners bracket finals. We get the two teams that have won tournaments this year. The first two Optic, the second two Shopify. I can't wait, because when these two play, we get a best of 7 this time. It usually goes to game 5. Will it go to game 7? Man, that would be a show for the ages.
It certainly would be, and a show it will be regardless. Folks, we're going to head to a quick break. When we come back, we have plenty more action for your championship Sunday on the main stage getting set up. It's Optic versus Shopify Rebellion. This one is for the history books. Who will come out on top? We'll find out right after the break.
Want more Halo action? Subscribe to the Halo Esports channel for official HCS highlights, behind-the-scenes content, and player spotlights that take you closer to the pros. Stay in the loop with official updates. Halo
Dude, yeah, I was telling my buddy, he wanted like the link, because I told him like this year's cosplay contest the other day. Was it yesterday that we tuned in for? Dude, that one was good. That was like one of the best years yet. From start to finish. Was very, very nice.
referee. Betrayal. Combat evolved.
The 2025 Halo World Championship is presented by HyperX, Omen, and Hayworth.
I think when fans look back on the era of Halo Infinite, they'll speak highly of it just because of how competitive it was and is, and all the crazy moments that this game has brought us. I mean, look at like Tommy's overkill last year. Like,
Just gonna jump out and no scope for the triple kill. Wait, can he do it all? Hey, Lucid, you madman!
there's been some pretty insane moments, but I think this game has some respect on it.
I think when people look back on this era of Halo esports, they're going to see some of the most intense grand finals that we've ever seen.
3 seconds left, Formal ties the game up once more. It's absolute carnage in the base. Optic make the push. Optic make the push.
The amount of bracket resets we've had, game 5s, game 7s, games decided by 1 kill, 1 point, 1 minute moment.
They've been quite the show.
It was this game time. Orlando was the second, and now the journey is complete. Stands tallest. As with just a few moments left. Wait a second. Wait a second. ABG's headset was off. The game isn't over yet. There's no way. In quick succession, coming in from Ryan Oob. Renegade. 3 seconds left. They say, FaZe, you gotta get in the hill, and I've got a rocket launcher. I don't think it's over. Not again on streets. 0 seconds on the clock. These two teams will tie.
I feel like this era of esports, of Halo esports, would definitely be looked on as probably the most competitive. I think it would be probably the most fun and exciting time, I'd say. Going to an event knowing that like multiple teams could win, we always just made it fun.
I think it's the most competitive it's ever been.
The competition has still been so tight and so interesting, and the passion for Halo in general.
I think fans and players will look back on Halo Infinite as success, honestly. Obviously there's a bunch of rocky moments, but I mean, I feel like that goes with any Halo game, but I feel like there's been so many
I mean, until you created the God Squad for this year, like you already know how this ends. I feel like you can like try and build it up with this, but like even at the beginning when for like roster change, you like kind of come on, man. It's not that we don't have to get that crazy.
Formal coming back to the game, winning his ring, like after playing COD, like that was pretty insane. Us like Quadrant, like making history.
there's a lot of great memories that we're going to be able to have whenever the game does end.
I think like most other Halo games and video games in general, it'll be like kind of controversial. Like people will miss it. I'm sure some people want to move on from Halo Infinite and whatever too at the same time. But I think it'll be like one of those hindsight things where we really realize like how good we had it like in the moment.
They'll look back and say, you know what, I was pretty lucky to witness some of those games.
Well, the memories will continue because, of course, we have another main stage match here in Seattle for your Halo World Championships. And boy, oh boy, is it a big one. 2 Titans on that main stage are getting ready to go. And this means everything, let me tell you. This right here is the biggest confidence boost you could ask for. One of them will be heading into the grand finals, and one will be meeting Envy in the elimination finals with another chance to bounce back. This is huge. This moment is everything. I think it weighs heavy on both of our teams for 2 different reasons. I think one side we have Optic, who have done this so cleanly. Why stop now? Get that leg up, have that bracket reset behind you as a safety net. And the other side we have Shopify Rebellion, who have done it cleanly. They've been there time and time again, and they know how to win. But Optic Gaming, it's a tall order. Yesterday, I didn't see what I needed to from them in order to get this done against Shopify. Have I seen it before though? Yes, I have. I know they're capable of it. I need to see more out of the teamwork. It can't just be Renegade time and time again bailing them out. But I know those 4 individuals can get together, they can produce what it takes to win, and Clutch, can they do it on this stage?
That's the big question. Legend Bound, I'm looking at you two. Formal, we got to have a big series here because I do think that this is a must-win for Optic Gaming. Shopify have gotten the better of them at our HCS tournaments as of recent. So this would be a massive confidence to say that we belong, especially in a best-of-7 here. If you truly outplay Shopify in the winners finals, that gives you so much opportunity, not only the double opportunity in the grand finals if Shopify do get to come back here. And as we take a look at the Formal graphic, I mean, he hasn't missed a beat in what seems like 10 years.
It certainly isn't. I mean, I've got to say the support coming from Formal is unbelievable. Everything that you want out of your anchor player, and he's there just making sure his team are willed on to victory. And I agree with you, a big game needs to be seen out of Formal today. But I will say, Tony, I know that the biggest stage in the world produces the goods when it comes to Formal. And in history, he's been absolutely amazing on a Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, they put a lot of responsibility on his hands. You know, he's the human UAV, but he also has one of the best shots in the league and is the anchor for that team.
He certainly is indeed. And of course, Shopify, Tony, on one side, they have been fantastic, although coming into this tournament, they were defeated by Optic Online. So that could be looming over their heads, knowing they're facing their biggest competition right now for a chance in this grand finals. How are you feeling about the team and how they performed this weekend?
Yeah, I talked about Shopify Rebellion having the best bait and switch in the game. I talked about them being the team being the best at staying alive, but it's not going to be easy. Optic are the only team that can constantly put pressure and put enough damage to keep them out of the fight. This is not going to be easy for Shopify Rebellion, although they should be the favorites.
Why I favor Shopify in this series is because of the way this man on screen is playing. Royal 2 in that Game 5 against FaZe made the difference between what would be an elimination bracket run for Shopify or where they are right now. Royal 2 has played out of his mind. We always have been talking about Psycho, Last Shot, Frosty. It always seems like they're the ones making the plays. Royal 2, we praise him for his consistency. He's not just consistent so far this event, he is dominant. And if Royal 2 is dominant, Shopify become even more of a problem.
I couldn't agree more. He is the outlier for me. He has been superstar on this team, which is difficult to do when you look at the caliber of teammates you have next to you, but he has been unbelievable. We're looking right now at basically what both of these teams have managed to accomplish here, and it's looking really good on both sides. I will say they're both undefeated in Slayers. And Tony, do you think that's going to have a massive impact on the series? How do you see this going? Is it in the Slayers? Is it in the objective work? What do you foresee?
Yeah, I think it's definitely important. You know, obviously Optic have made some huge improvements in their Slayer game, but I will say Shopify Rebellion have already been one of the top teams in Slayer. And Optic Gaming, although we've seen the improvements, we haven't seen you specifically against Shopify Rebellion in the Slayer. That's what I want to know.
Yeah, both teams being undefeated in Slayers is awesome, but it really is the Slayers that determine the series difference between these two whenever they match up. So pay attention to those games 2, 5, and 7 when they come around. The fact that the fact that Optic is voting well in that shows me a lot of promise for Optic fans as well, because usually it's a bumpy ride for the Slayers. I know they haven't played against Shopify yet, so we'll see if they can get it done, but they're usually not perfect. So the fact that they are so far gives me some hope for the Green Wall.
I can't wait. I hope this one is a competitive series because it is our final one. Our winners finals for Halo Infinite starts in just moments. It's Optic versus Shopify happening on the main stage.
Washington, are you ready? Because it's time for the winner bracket finals between Optic Gaming and Shopify Rebellion. It doesn't get any better than this. Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm Golden Boy. You got Walshy right there. Yeah, he beat me last night. Well done, sir. Well done. You earned it.
Well fought.
Yeah, you know, it was, well, I mean, I didn't fight really well, but everyone else fought very well on my team. In any case, folks, enough about the shenanigans from yesterday. We're focused on the future. Let's go ahead and take a look at our series layout. We got Live Fire Oddball, Slayer Solitude, King of the Hill Lattice, Strongholds Recharge, and if necessary, and I think it will be, Live Fire Slayer, Bomb on Aquarius, Slayer on Origin. And what we saw in the stats earlier, Dave, these two teams coming into this winter final with perfect records in the Slayer, but Optic Gaming looking absolutely diabolical when it comes to on-ball. And that's exactly where we're starting things off here. And it goes without saying that either of these teams can really just turn it on at the drop of a hat. Truly incredible stuff.
We're getting to see a nice range of maps and modes, but one thing that we are missing from this Winter Bracket Finals is there's no CTF. We've generally seen Shopify be so strong in that, so we're going to see if that decides to hurt them in the series, or if there's going to be a rally back and take it to Optic on one of their best modes.
Oh boy, here we go. Players are loaded up. They're ready to go. Let's do this, baby. Winter Bracket Final time. We're kicking things off with your Halo Infinite MVP, Renegade. Let's see what he can do with this S7 to kick things off. He's already starting on the good foot there, getting a body shot with it, but he's going to need to get out of dodge potentially there. As Frosty is going to get the better of him there. Former teammate squaring off.
Eventually hunted down. That's going to be Frosty grabbing this ball. Look at this rotation. They decided to bring it straight towards Raj. They're uncertain where that last member was at. They don't know where Formal was at. And they decided to push away. Now that they know where Formal's at, he's at the tower and he's down.
Big camo there, pick up, as we saw for Frosty. Doing what he needs to do there with that S7, with that power item in play. He's waiting to see if anyone's going to try and push around this. They know that the outside is going to be completely patrolled here by this sniper.
Look at that. Optic opt to just go for some slays. They realize sniper camo still in play, and so they need to go for some other kills and spawn kills. They don't give the free kill over at scoreboard, and this is frustrating for Frosty. He has to reposition and try to get a fight.
Why can't nice things just happen for him? You know, that's what he's wondering right now. I got everything I wanted. Where are my double kills? Where are my triple kills? Might actually find one here, but wait a minute. It's gonna get sent back over to the respawn screen. Is Optic Gaming gonna clear him out?
So brilliantly played by Optic right there when that sniper camo was in play. So many other times people would say, we have 3 down, let's grab a little time. Yeah. And that's exactly the opening that Frosty was looking for, not giving it to him one bit.
Now that sniper's gonna go in the hands of Renegade. Once again, he only had 1 bullet to work with there. Pressure though from the outside. Frosty targeted Renegade. off-screen last shot's able to find a target too. That's going to bring 2 members of Optic Gaming down. Ball's going to be available. Renegade's still going to be alive, still going to be a problem. So they're going to have to handle this guy as soon as they can, but that's easier said than done. He will be out of the action for the time being though, which will allow Shopify Rebellion to be able to get back into this.
But look at this. Cycle not afraid just to put some points on the board. He has 3 assists for his team right now. And now we got the season MVP versus the overall MVP. And guess what? It's an even fight.
Who would have called it? Who would have thunk it? Granted though, with 3 players down from Optic Gaming right now, this could be a prime opportunity, but got to watch out here for Formal. He's always going to be a problem, especially he's in the back line like that. Is going to get shut down though. That's going to open the opportunity now for Shopify Rebellion to be able to add on some more to this. They got a good setup here. Players playing in the forward position, Dave. They're holding the green side of the map. They also have some presence down low.
Yeah, right now, Shopify trying to sniff out exactly where the push is coming from. It's always a tough position when you have the ball over in the small window at the garage, because as soon as you lose the setup, the other team gets it. Shopify, they're hoping to get some sort of breakthrough over towards green or over towards camo, but to no avail. This is going to be Royal 2 trying to get whatever kills he can versus Renegade. And look at those peak shots. You get Royal 2 a corner, and you can't take him down.
That camo ended up doing absolutely nothing there, and the spawn ends up working for Rebellion. So they're going to be right back at it. Should be able to get this ball, as you can see there. They're going to continue to hold this one down. Great defensive play there from Rebellion. Great plays from Royal 2 to keep the drive alive here with this ball.
Look at this. Lepconn now has the snipe in his hands. Gets that ball down. He still has 5 bullets, but he's still not in too safe a spot. The crazy part, though, about all these snipers, all these players, is it doesn't matter if you're in a full setup and far away, or if they're up close and personal. They hit these shots with the sniper.
That's so good. So clinical with it. Look at that there, even managing, I believe that was a tag on Royal 2. I think I heard it.
Enemy has the ball.
Waiting to see if he can get that target. I got to say, though, despite the plays that we're seeing from Optic Gaming, it is commendable how Rebellion have just been able to hold things down. Because I thought that when that whole play happened and the sniper went back in the hands of Optic, Rebellion were going to have to concede that ground.
You would have thought so. But Rebellion, they do such a good job of talking it through and saying, hey, here's the threat we have to avoid. Here's what we're going to do. Here's how we're going to rotate the ball away. And because of that, I actually want to go to a Shopify listen, hear how they're commenting.
Enemy has the ball. Enemy has the ball. Enemy team.
All right, I think we're going to get that sorted in a little bit, but it's all good, though. We'll check out the listen-ins in a few. But, hey, you know what? If we were listening in, I think we were just going to hear them feeling great because they're up right now 87-20, and they're continuing to add on to this. Could lock up the first round here and now. Great defensive plays coming through. Optic trying to break through that 50-yard line, but it might be all for naught. Formal's going to be very weak here. This could be that first round going for Shopify Rebellion. He's going to have to handle last shot. A lot of these targets from Optic, and Optic know that they have to put pedal to the metal then and there, but they put themselves in a tough spot because one mistake, and this whole thing's going to be wrapped up for round 1.
On top of it, though, feels like Optic aren't grabbing this time to even put some pressure onto the board. At some point, Optic have to start scrapping the time and make it actually a threat. Right now, Shopify are saying there's no need to rush across the map. We only have 25 points. We can take our time and go for any sort of slays. But now they're putting a little pressure. You see it climbing towards 30, towards 35. The biggest thing, though, outside of just getting those slays and putting that pressure, is Optic needs to get that ball in a play ball position. They cannot keep it in the house, because as soon as Shopify get the kills, Optic lose the game.
But it feels like Shopify more than aware of that, which is part of the reason why it's been difficult for
Okay, I have to, dude, this crackling, I have to know if it's on my end or if it's on this end. On this end. All right, the crackling is definitely on production's end. I was, for a second, I was thinking it may have been like maybe my mixer for a second, but yeah, this crackling is crackling's kind of crazy. Yikes.
Push now. Actually, Cycle just goes and swoops the ball away, and he's gonna get the round. Just like that.
That is so sneaky. The 2025 MVP Cycle just decides to scrap up those last 4 seconds, secure that first round, and right like that, they're going into round 2.
That's what we're saying, man. You know, they just
They had no room for error. And that was one that, you know, it could have happened to anyone, because you got to worry about so many things at once in an oddball game, especially when you only have 4 points before that round is wrapped up.
I don't know if it happened to anyone. I saw Uber Nick just camping the objective yesterday in the BTB battle.
He was
So
doing the Lord's work with that hammer. Okay, I will defend that man to the grave. Now, guy who was supposed to be on my team but ended up not showing up on screen here.
Not salty about that. He could help you a little bit.
Not at all.
Sorry, you got Guy Blaze instead.
Hey, good start though for Optic Gaming. Right where they left off, we were seeing them really start to put things together in that first round toward the tail end of it, Dave. And they have really picked up that momentum. Rebellion now need to break this setup, and they have that play ball set up in the back of the map.
Look at this. Quite opposite from what we saw during the first round. Optic grabbing a bunch of time, getting the ball in play ball positions, being very efficient this time about. And now they get to play with a bit more patience. They're not playing exactly just Shopify's game, but now we see the kills going in the favor of Shopify. I'd love to see where they're going to set this ball up this time.
They've been loving holding the ball inside of the garage side of the map, so maybe they're going to continue to do this here. When they get that opportunity for a rotation, perhaps they could bring it over to the green side if they want to, which is Last Shot doing a ton of work out here.
Last Shot doing a lot of great work.
Enemy has the ball. All drop. Enemy has
You guys fix the crackling.
And the elbows one. Yeah, try to live off that. Look, for a second, Joe. Nest, form on. In my wall, Box in A, sneak in A, box in A. A-play. Is that huge? A-play in A. That's the street. Back A, guys. One shot, still two down. I got one. Let's get kills. We're killing this guy. We're going small. Hold it here, Wyatt. Yeah, where is he? Still small behind you. Nice. Brad has snipe, guys. Brad has snipe. Screens never go. Holy fuck. 3 dead.
While that whole thing was happening there, you ended up seeing Shopify Rebellion taking this lead in a commanding fashion, 74, 75, and counting. This garage setup has been meticulous for Shopify Rebellion, and Frosty with this sniper, he's just giving him so much info.
Yeah, every single time I keep talking about that, man, shouldn't Shopify rotate that ball over towards tower, towards green, like in a play ball scenario? But it feels like they just never lose control of this house area. It feels like they have control of it the majority of the time.
Yeah, the defense is truly something to marvel at here.
And what a good spawn for Cycle there. As there were 7 people down the map, Formal Last Alive, Cycle gets the dummy spawn and just makes its way over towards house to block the rest of these players.
Sometimes it just be like that. You know, you do all that work and then the guy ends up getting a god spawn. Nice shot, one there by Cycle. You only got a couple of points. Is anyone from Optic Gaming in the vicinity to stop it? No, it is not. 2-1. GG. Game 1 goes to Shopify Rebellion. They strike first.
They strike first, and I guess it shows that all levels of play here, Golden Boy, whether you're gold or whether you're playing in the Halo World Championship, sometimes just meant, what a lucky spawn. What's up with that spawn, man? We would have had it if not for that.
But you know what, though, Dave? You got to commend how Rebellion, because even with that spawn, they were still up
They were
at
still
86.
so far ahead. They took the first round.
Absolutely owning on that garage side of the map. And this is a team, Optic, that came into this one with just high marks across the board in the oddball game type. And Shopify Rebellion just handled business.
That's looking dangerous there if you're an Optic fan. Optic, we're looking so good there on oddball. But Shopify just showing their house set with that ball, just played so much better. They played around the spawns better. It felt like any single time these players spawned out and tried to make their way back towards the house. Felt like Shopify were getting slays along the way. Shopify were buying more time in that window. Shopify just doing everything better in that corner of the map.
Yeah, and think about even the times where you were seeing, you know, like the pushes that we were getting from like Frosty and World 2, just getting up in the middle of the map, getting in the face of Optic Gaming, putting in a couple of shots, allowing the likes of Cycle, allowing the likes of World 2 to be able to pick up those big kills. Just a really well-executed game of oddball from Shopify Rebellion, but now we set our sights to Slayer. And as I talked about at the opening, Dave, both of these teams walking into this one with a perfect record here at the Halo World Championship. Someone's going to drop an L here. Someone's going to have to take an L.
It could be a multiple tie. You know, like game 2 of the Big Team Battle Bonanza.
Okay, you need to. This is now you're rubbing it in. Now it's just me. Not kidding. But that said, though, look at this. I mean, Dave, the stats speak for themselves. Both of these teams have been on fire in this game mode.
Well, I mean, you look at those stats. You start to say what happens when an unstoppable force meets an immovable object.
Right.
You should say one of those is inclassified. They're classified improperly. So one of these teams is going to falter right here and have a single spread stick in that loss column.
You know, I never thought in all of my, it took the last event for you to quote the legendary Gorilla Monsoon, one of the greatest wrestling commentators of all time. Truly mind-blowing stuff. You win a championship belt, you think you know wrestling now? Unreal. Unreal, Dave. Hey, but you're right, though. You're so right. Everything that you said about both of these squads being unstoppable forces, being immovable objects, and especially Optic Gaming on Championship Sunday. A lot of teams fear them. Talking to a lot of fans out here, and they're all saying the same thing. Optic Gaming, Champ Sunday, different breed. Let's see if that comes to fruition here in the Slayer. They're going to need it. They got to hit Shopify with a left hook and get themselves right back into this series.
And that's just insane stats right there. 10 Slayers wins in a row for Shopify. 7 Slayer wins in a row for Optic. Both teams. We used to talk about Slayer being the more random mode, the one where the teams that are on the up-and-coming roster side are getting wins against the Titans.
Yeah.
Instead, it feels like Slayer is now the true test of skill.
Yeah, the game really has matured in a very unique way. Frosty gets out of there with that camo. Feel like every time you're looking at Frosty's screen, he's invisible. He's always prioritizing
top
that.
of those power-ups and power weapons.
So good. He's getting a lot of info, and you know, of course, you could deduce where these players are based on where things are here.
And Optic did this so well last time. They just stayed hidden for a bit. And one thing I like about Optic as well is they'll do this play where they'll stay hidden for a bit, and then they'll make a random charge out through a side.
Yeah, and
when
they're doing
that
it right
sniper may have just reconfigured over a different location, but just like that, walks into the U-turn, gets killed. That's 3 down for Optic without the camo or the shock doing anything.
Dude, they were so ready for that. You were calling it as it was happening.
That's part of their playbook, and it's a really tough, even if you know it's happening, it's tough to counteract because on the one hand, you want your sniper to get in the action, to get a new angle. On the other hand, you don't know where that push is coming from.
Yeah, especially when that sniper rocking camo is invisible, able to just kind of run around the map willy-nilly. I do credit Optic for trying to give themselves an opening there, but Shopify, great response. That's going to give them this 5-kill lead to start things off. It's still early days here, so plenty of opportunities for Optic, especially with Bound holding the shock rifle here. Could find a lot of targets. Frosty, I thought he was going to find Frosty, but instead it's going to be Formal. Ends up getting the connection there, looking for another one as well. That's going to be World 2 going down. But while all that's happening, though, more kills coming in for the Rebellion.
Let's do what Bound decides to do here with the rest of the shock. Only a couple shots left, not making the greatest use of it, but end of the day, it's in their hands. No longer in the hands of Shopify. And anyone who's opening kills, it's not just the kill that they get on the board, it's more of the map control that they get from that kill.
Hey, well, Bound ended up getting a couple of frags with that, so that worked out. Double kill for Bound, looking for another one, but World 2 is going to run away into the loving hands of Renegade. But it seems like Renegade was not ready for that one. Ends up getting hit with a melee. All that going on, though. Shopify Rebellion still keeping this lead within 4. It's 1 round of slays that Optic would need to get. And these kills are coming in fast, and Shopify keeping the pace the entire time. It feels like they've, you know, a lot of teams sometimes in these moments, right, especially when power items come into play, you would think, oh, yeah, there's opportunity for them to come back, but Rebellion just keep on going the same way, and they got the camo again.
Yeah, the more important part is during some of those fast-paced times, Shopify find these ways to get trades. So they're not just going death after death. It's going death, melee trade, finish off kill, all those sort of ways so that they are never getting themselves in a spot where Optic keep full strength of 4 players, just mowing down player after player.
It just gets so difficult, too, when you see how Shopify move around the map. A lot of teams do this, but few do it as good as Shopify does, where you're never really in a 1v1 fight with someone when you're going up against a member of Shopify, because there's always going to be someone else there to take the fight. If you think, oh, I'm going to be able to get away with this, nope, you're going to be dead immediately. And that goes to what you were talking about, Dave. Those trades, they keep coming in. They keep getting the value where it is. And now they have an 8-kill lead here. It was 4 kills at one point.
I love that move from Royal 2 there. Just realizing saw that small opening go towards Garbage Truck to continue putting pressure on the Legend. Just not letting the player get comfortable. The way that someone like Legend or Renegade are going to go off when they have Shock Rifle is they get to hit their shot that they want to take, then they reposition, hit a new shot. But if you can find that player before they can reposition and continue to pelt them with shots, put that pressure on them, it throws them off their groove.
Yeah, I mean, hell, even right there, you were seeing on the opposite side of that what Optic was trying to do to Rebellion there. End up getting 4 down, so that's going to get things at least a little bit more manageable, because this lead was looking a little out of hand at one point. I think they were up to like 10 kills. So credit to Optic Gaming, keeping themselves very much in there. And they keep on with these big moments down low for Formal. He's looking around to see if anyone's going to try and challenge here. Now Rebellion all going to be grouping up, waiting for a time to strike. They know Formal's patrolling down here. They got to handle it.
Yeah, Formal's in such a smart spot. He's not overextending just yet. They knows they're all stuck over at top Shock, and they're just trying to squeeze in here and eventually trap them over at this tower. Here comes the final flank, and kill after kill going in favor of Optic. Well executed.
But even when that's happening, though, you're still seeing Shopify get 1 or 2 in those exchanges. That keeps that lead going. And it's been the theme of the entirety of Game 2 here, where Shopify seemingly don't want to give an inch to Optic Gaming, as they shouldn't. But Optic are doing a good job of just trying to force the situation, get themselves back into this one. And Formal is holding things down over here, but now things are going to slow down just a touch. But just as I say that, Psycho manages to break through the lines.
Just somehow seeing these different routes that don't seem like they can be taken. You just assume a squad like Optic has every single angle watched.
Yeah.
But the fact that Shopify just hit those rounds so fast, there's zero hesitation. They're not waiting for a stalemate to do this. They're doing this in the middle of chaos, and that's why it's successful.
And that is another power item. Camo grab for Shopify Rebellion. Ball's been made, though. Formal is going to be weakened. World 2 playing his life here. Needed to get outbound, had those camo eyes, was able to see it. And they're just exchanging those kills over and over, maintaining this 5-kill lead. It's only continued to frustrate Optic. And with this camo too, they're kind of in a position where they don't really have the freedom and understanding of where things are on the map, because this one player is able to just run around willy-nilly and grab so much info.
I like this play by Royal 2, just realizing he has the damage, continues to put this squeeze onto these players. And how he decided to get the hunt, because right now they're not getting the finishes on these kills. They finally take down Legend, who was that original kill over in the yard, and it's just hunt after hunt. Bound goes down after Legend, and just like that, we're back to the 6-kill lead that Shopify has established at the very beginning of the game.
Yeah, Rebellion have gotten the lead and never let it go. And also credit, though, to Psycho World 2. They're having 2 incredible games, but hell, Frosty is as well. Got himself a big shock rifle kill there. Trying to see if maybe there could be another target. It's Renegade up top. He's weakened. Might have to commit to this fight, knowing that there's going to be pressure right behind him there over toward the snipe, but the help comes in. It's beautiful. He gets right out of dodge there. You think he's going to be cooked, and he's still getting kills.
It's just such a difficult kill. We always talk about how good their shots are. That was just a perfect reenactment of how difficult it is to kill a top pro in Halo. So many times he slid back and forth, dodged the perfect grenades, hit the perfect shots along the way. Just all this movement while perfectly precise.
Okay, this nade might have to slow things down here for Frosty. He had a read on him. I don't know if they're aware of it. They were, so they were able to take him out. Good calls there from Optic Gaming, but things are getting a little dicey here. Shopify could just trade their way to victory at this point. You get a kill, you get like a little melee, right? Just try and force those trades to happen. Optic knows that. They're going to have to play wiser here.
So patient, too, from the Shopify side. He notices 2 weak players over at LR and doesn't decide to charge it. Instead, just puts down damage, stays alive, and plays his life, knowing that if he does not have the perfect charge, he knows one of his teammates will find the opportunity to make the play. And that's what perfect Halo looks like, Golden Boy. It's players just taking advantage of the opportunities when they come through, but not forcing plays if they don't need to.
Yeah. We've been, it goes back to that ball game, right? When Cycle just kind of swooped in. He could have, you know, went in for a fight, right? But instead, nah, he opted to just go for that, just go for the grab, end the game, right? Don't try and be a superstar, right? Make those efficient plays where they are. And the camel that Optic ends up getting here gets shut down. That's going to make a 7-kill lead, an 8-kill lead. Just as I say that, we're getting ever so close to this one being a 2-0 for the Rebellion. Cycle's got a couple of people in front of him. That's going to be kill number 49. Looking for the other one. Getting a little fancy with it with this repulsor. He's getting pressure as well from down low, but it does not matter. That final kill came in courtesy of Last Shot. 50-42. Now, this is where you get a little nervous if you're an Optic Gaming fan, and I know we got a lot of those in this venue today here, Dave.
Absolutely. I mean, you lose the first mode, which is looking very favorable to Optic, but it looks like they're going to take a moment just to regroup. But hey, we do have ourselves a best of 7 Golden Boy. Plenty of time to get momentum and get steam. And one thing I tend to say about these 2 teams when I look at Optic and Shopify, as I do think in the world right now, Rebellion is the best team. I think that they're consistently the best right now. However, with that being said, I think that Optic has the highest ceiling out of any team in the world. I think if Optic's playing their best against Shopify's best, I think Optic win. There's a moment that they can get steam and momentum and bring this series back.
Yeah, there's like a fire that lights up inside of them whenever you see them in these pressured situations. You're so right there, Dave. But I will say, though, the thing that I enjoy about Shopify is, you know, they have that icy demeanor. You know, it kind of brings me back to when World 2 and Frosty were teaming with Snakebite, you know, and Lethal or Snakebite and Renegade, like back in the day when they were in like FaZe or Optic or Tox, where it was always like the icy team, you know, keeping it calm, not getting too crazy, focusing more on just getting the job done. And it definitely works out. Both teams certainly have their own unique ways of approaching, you know, professional Halo.
Yeah. But these guys just looking so good here to kick off this Sunday. I mean, that's the sort of start you're looking for. A very dominant game number 1. Yeah. A comfortable game number 2. And next we're going on Lattice, which Shopify, they've looked so good so far ever since the emergence of this map.
Yeah, this event in particular, Shopify didn't get many opportunities to play. No shocker here with how both teams have been performing, that, you know, they're going to be in a good position here. But now that we've seen kind of how the Slayer played out, Dave, it goes without saying Shopify certainly in the driver's seat for this series. And Optic, I'm sure Coach Lunchbox is giving them the speech in the back, being like, guys, we can do this. Because other teams were taking it to Shopify Rebellion as well, right? And this is, ooh, okay, let's take a look at these stats here, right? Last 7 King of the Hills for Optic. That might not bode too well, but hey, anything's possible.
It's possible, especially when those players in Optic are on fire. I truly do believe when you see the likes of Renegade, likes of Legend, just moving around the map so comfortably and confident when they're on fire. Yeah. They can take out any team at any time. But the consistency from Optic has been missing this whole year. Even though Optic takes the first 2 events, the consistency's not there. They're losing in pool play. They're dropping to teams that I would say are slightly below their level.
But when you do have the Halo Infinite MVP on your team, Renegade right there, you know, anything is possible for Optic Gaming. And of course, we're seeing how this is all going to be playing out in just a moment. I mentioned before Optic taking a little bit of a break here, but yeah, I mean, while we, you know, have this opportunity to kind of take a second here while Optic are chilling things out, want to thank everyone for tuning in to this event. Obviously, Halo World Championship has always been an amazing event, especially here in Seattle. Ever since we started doing Worlds out here, it's always been a blast. So big shout out. Give yourselves a round of applause, guys. Thank you so much for coming out, making this last HCS event something special. We got a packed house out there. You know, it's crazy because I remember like working on HCS when I was a Twitch employee back in the day. And I got the email showing me the HCS logo, and I was like, HCS, I kind of like it, you know?
We'll see where this thing goes.
Yeah, let's see where this little project takes us. And here we are, all these years later, doing this thing. So
I always get photo memories that pop up, and I see like something from us casting in 2015. I'm like, haven't deleted this photo yet. Thank you. Reminder, get that out
I'm
of
doing
there.
the same thing. I'm deleting all the photos with you every chance I get. If I see your wedding photo, delete. You know what I mean? Your the time you and I hung, delete. You know, like time you came over to my house, delete. It's been great. You know, just truly clean out your photo inboxes, everyone. It'll save you some storage. But no, man, it truly has been a pleasure to be a part of this, and I think like one of the things that makes this event so special, and just Halo in general, is really like the people who come through from all over the world to watch this game be played. So many folks came through, so seriously cannot thank you all enough. Speaking of folks who are coming in from Australia, from all sorts of parts of Europe, tons of locations here in the United States, it truly is something special. So thank you all so much. But now that the players are back on stage, fist bumps across the board, we're getting loaded up. Let's see how this one shakes out. The Shopify Rebellion go up 3-0 in this winter final? Or can Optic Gaming finally strike back against these tyrants in the Rebellion?
We will have to see. I mean, this is an unforgiving map. There can be so many brutal spawns here.
Yeah.
Hills can be very easy to hold outside that very first one. You can get some strong setups. So we're going to have to see what happens here between these two squads. Taking a quick look at some stats, though. Between Last Shot and Royal 2. Two insane KD ratios, 2.33 and 1.91.
It's almost like Last Shot's really good at this video game.
You know?
Damn.
What do you know?
That's crazy, man. An absolute beast. What a tail end to 2025 this young man is having. Ooh, I gotta say, I kind of like the new update. In any case, let's go ahead and jump into the action. Things cleared up. We're good to go. Let's see. Last Shot versus Formal. Last Shot gets the dub. I mean, and that's crazy too, with the confidence that Last Shot approaches these fights with. It's like he'll just go at you with no problem because he knows he's got it. He's got the reads, you know?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of these players these days don't remember the windmill shots that you'd hit from time to time when things got panicky. Where you start windmilling your cursor everywhere.
I do that all the time.
I don't see that much anymore here in 2025 on the stage.
Yeah. So the amount of work our players have been putting in to this game truly is something special. Shopify Rebellion certainly exemplifies that with the work ethic that this team has put together. I remember seeing this lineup coming together thinking, that's interesting. I wonder how that's going to play out. And now look, their potential contending to hold a trophy over their head, the biggest trophy of it all here in Halo, the Halo World Championship trophy. And there's a big opportunity here for the Rebellion to be able to close this one out in dominating fashion with how this series has gone so far, Dave.
Yeah, and just looking at how much progression Shopify have on this first hill. Optic are in a tough spot. Do they commit towards this hill and try to see if they get capped, or do they set for hill number 2?
Seems like they were trying to see if they can get the setup there, but Frosty met them with open arms and was able to stop them right in their tracks.
The best part here for Shopify is since they have so much progress on this hill, they can even just go set for hill number 2 right now, since Optic hasn't put any pressure just yet. So they can wait till they have the right spawns, the right setup before they even finish the first hill.
Maybe this is a chance for them here. They do have control on this side of the map, only really needing to remove Last Shot. It's easier said than done, obviously. He's going to make himself a hard target. Formal should be able to get the better of him here, and he does. Now Optic need to get some bodies onto that point.
Yeah, but it feels like they're still opting to go for the new setup. But here they go. Optic finally getting some points on the board. And this is going to actually force Shopify now to finish up this hill, whether they have the superior spawns or not.
Shroud screen, excuse me, giving them a little bit of cover here. Thinking maybe there could be some pressure from top mid. But instead, you're going to have Rebellion because they know they have a little bit of time to work with. They're going to work around the map here. That kill-off screen could be pretty big there onto Renegade and Bound. Leaving Formal in a precarious position here. Bound as well, and that's going to wrap up. Oh, you got Frosty with a double kill there. He's looking to get this first point on the board. You got those spawns all the way in Carajo land. It ain't happening. That's number 1.
And just like that, it works out in the end for Shopify. They get the setup they want, they get the first hill, and also some more time torched off the clock.
Yeah.
Only 3.5 minutes.
This is textbook right here. And Optic are reeling, needing to get out of this blue side of the map. Formal tucked in a corner, needing to play his life. Renegade might be a problem over in the distance there. You can see him in that action, and Cycle's getting the call, but hey, Last Shot's got that covered. He's trying to put together an MVP performance of his own here at the rate that he's going at. They might be able to get this 2-0 really quickly here, Dave, which is quite problematic for Optic.
Such a good setup here from Shopify. They're pushed all the way out here against towards blue, so they're fighting Optic as they're coming out of the blue spawns, and they're going to get multiple spawn opportunities to go back and fight. And so right there, as all these members of Shopify were taken down, they were able to grab that last few seconds of time and get new spawns.
Yeah, and this is kind of what we were seeing in that first point, right? Where Shopify had so much progress, whereas Optic were really just playing from the back foot here. Now you got 3 down, and this is right back where we started.
And there's the difference, too, from how Optic held. Optic held right next to the hill. And so the second that they were taken down, they already had somebody in the hill from Shopify. And on top of that, Shopify can go across the map and set up to get spawn kills against the blue spawns.
And that's number 2, folks. Optic Gaming need to wake up here if they want to try and get into this. Pressure's on, and it feels like Frosty and company are just running roughshod all over them. But this area of the map, hey, Optic's been here for a hot minute, so maybe this could work out for them. But Last Shot has other ideas, has other plans alongside World 2. He's having a great game so far.
Yeah, their first target here is going to try to be blue. They know Bound's at the bottom of the stairs, but if they can get blue control, no longer can Optic be comfortable in the Crystal Hill.
But they are doing a good job of holding this one down. Like I said, they have a lot of familiarity with this blue area of the map. They've been here for a minute now, so this should be at least a territory where they can hold things down. The Rebellion making it so difficult. Beautiful plays there from Royal 2, getting them right back into this one.
Yep, all 4 down. Let's see how aggressive Shopify decide to be on this hill. We saw in red, they decided to push all the way across the map and put pressure right on the spawns. Here, I don't feel like they're afforded the exact same luxury of pressuring towards red. So you might see them hold back a little bit more.
It's really this top mid control here that's so pivotal. That's why Optic prioritizing getting bodies inside of there. They got 3 down now, and they're right back in it. So Optic Gaming trying to get one on the board, and they're close to it.
And I feel like Shopify, they have the room for error for this, so they're just going to likely let this hill go and set up for hill number 4.
Yeah, and that is what's going to happen here. A little bit of progress, and that'll do it. Optic's on the board. Now they need to get themselves one more, not this game up.
Just like that, they got the first kills on the board. These next kills are going to decide everything. That huge kill by Legend is going to disallow Shopify from having full control over at blue and crystal.
They fight here as well. World 2 trying to win this one out. Sends a nade over to Legend. Actually, just a good use of the items there. The repulsor and the nade into the corner. Brilliant.
Yeah, you start to see that more here in the 2025 season where people are doing that with the frag grenade plus repulse. You saw that consistently in previous years where people do that with a sticky grenade and the repulse and get that stick.
Yeah, very well executed there. Optic Gaming, so far so good for them. Greenwall's looking pretty strong right now with how they're playing in the mid game here. Renegade, though, missing a couple of those key shots. Could have really held back those members of Shopify Rebellion on the push, but instead he's going to lose his life in that exchange. Now Legend on the flank. Knows that this area is going to be quite important to have to clear, but Shopify's Frosty so on top of that. While all that's going on here, finally managed to get bodies onto that hill. Formal in the back, got to handle business. Now Frosty tried to juke him out. Formal's a little too wise to that one.
Little time going for Shopify, but I don't feel like they're in a safe enough spot. There goes Royal 2. Frosty's down. That's going to be Cycle. And just like that, last shot, the last one remaining, and they're going for the hunt. Has 1 bullet here, but can only do so much with this.
Yeah, misses that body shot. Would have loved to have been able to get that one there, but nope, not going to come to fruition for him. And it continues to be Optic Gaming in the driver's seat. We were seeing in the beginning, Shopify Rebellion started off hot, getting those 2 caps right out of the gate here, but Optic showing that they are not out of this, not by a long shot.
No, looking a little more scary here for Shopify now that you see Optic starting to heat up. Also on top of this, Shopify, they've been outslain by 7 kills so far in this game, yet they're about to go even in the objective.
This goes to show the great defensive hold that we've been seeing from Optic. I think a lot of that probably came from the start of the game too. I wouldn't be shocked. I think if you look at
a little overslaying at the beginning.
Yeah, I think if you look at like how the slays kind of matched up, or like if there's a graph, if you will, probably would show that now both of these teams, probably Optic winning more of those exchanges here. Got to close this one out though. Cycle's having a bit of a tough start to get things going, but he's still putting in a lot of work with those assists, trying to help his teammates out here. No one's really been in a comfortable spot to move into that damn hill either.
Looks like Optic gonna grab that second hill, gonna tie this one up. And I don't think we're gonna go to a hill number 6, Golden Boy. I think it's gonna be ended right here.
Yeah, I think you're right. And what an area for this one to be where that last fight is gonna take place here, Dave, because, you know, this hill can get a little scrappy sometimes. The box hill, which Optic has presence right now. And it's kind of ironic that considering, you know, the way this game started, where everything was really catering more towards playing on the outside, playing red. These last 3 hills have all been on the blue side, and Optic have been there the entire time.
That's gonna be 3 down for Shopify.
4
Optic
down.
grabbing all this time. And I feel like we're gonna see Optic play some defense after this.
Yeah, and they have every right to. 55 seconds left on the clock. They can get this one here. Clean shot from Pound. It's gonna get shut down immediately though by Royal 2. They're gonna get it. That's the lead. 3-2. And for the first time in this series, Optic Gaming takes the lead over Shopify Rebellion. Perhaps that's the juice they're looking for.
Like this play from Legend though. No need to go directly towards the hill just yet and try to take over some height, try to take over the catwalks. There goes Frosty. They know Royal 2 is 1 shot as well over at red. And look at this clock start to tick down. 46 seconds of defense left here for Optic.
Things are getting a little dicey now. Beautiful shot from Pound. Looking for another one. Last shot, the lineup, the pitch, and he misses. But hey, at the very least, it's the pressure that he's applying to Shopify Rebellion. That clock begins to tick down. 30 seconds remaining here. Things are getting dicey. But Bound's got good control of this snipe. Gets the body shot. Love to see it. And they're going to continue to add on to this. Frosty, though, finally stops Bound's reign of terror. But no one's in a great spot to be able to get into that hill. We only got 14 seconds remaining here, Dave.
No, and just this defense is impenetrable. Legend and crew even right near the hill just to defend if necessary. But right now, Shopify, they're making their last stand, their last charge. They get inside the hill, but time is fully on Optic's side. They can step back. They can even get outslayed one round and make another push.
Yeah, this is where Optic, they're in a great position to close this one out. They cannot afford to take a body off of that. You saw it just tick down to 2 seconds there. Royal 2 with a big win. Legend trying to keep this thing alive here, but now things are going to get a little bit dicey right here, Dave. Big play here for Renegade potentially.
Renegade going in, taking his own hand, takes out the trade against last shot.
And Optic Gaming showing that they are not done yet. Managing to get the King of the Hill. King of the Hill has been a rocky game mode for this team in the previous few matches. And they showed that despite that hot start from Shopify Rebellion, you can never count out the green wall.
Especially going down to that 0-2 lead. They just started to click, started to get the slays. It felt like you're starting to see Optic really have that life. You're starting to get hope.
I think this is exactly what Optic needed here. Just to get that motivation going, just to confirm, yes, this Shopify team, they're absolute menaces, they're beasts, but we are too. And they have shown that they can come back against the wall. They were pinned for a majority of that game, played to those small advantages that they were able to build up, and those small advantages became big advantages, and before you know it, Shopify Rebellion, they received an L on this one after having a pretty damn good King of the Hill run too.
Just perfect play out of Optic to close that one out. Clutching up, getting the kills on the spawn areas that they needed to at the right times, executing when they needed to.
Yeah.
Just so well played by them. And I love that last play by Renegade as well. Just says, you know what? I'm going to take out Cycle, and I'll take out Last Shot. The only 2 people near the hill, and this clock is going to tick down.
You see that moment too for the team when that kill came in. Renegade goes back in his chair. He's like, whew, all right, we got that, guys. Let's keep it going. And now we go to Stronghold's recharge. I think we're going to get ourselves a little bit of a series here, Dave, perhaps. Now, this is Going to be how Shopify Rebellion perform on Strongholds. And hey, would you look at that? First across the board. Oh, like we just saw that.
Yep, I mean, that tends to happen when you are the #1 seed in the tournament and on a 15-win streak on this mode. Just absolutely insanity.
It feels like every time we look at those stats, right, it's not a shocker to see Rebellion performing so well. And I feel like even at this point in the competition too, like, yeah, stats are always going to be valuable, always going to be important, but you know, it's Championship Sunday Halo. You just got to feel it out, right? It can't.
Doesn't matter how you got here. Doesn't matter the records before. All that matters
close it out.
Is these next games during this match.
Record-wise, there you could see both teams having pretty decent results. I mean, Shopify Rebellion having an incredible result. Optic having a decent result. So this is not going to be one where Optic are going to be in a tough position, so to speak. They should be able to contend here early on. I have no reason to believe they won't. But of course, for Rebellion, you know, you were seeing Frosty really hit some nasty shots there. Last shot had a great start to that game. Cycle kind of slowed things down a little bit. Curious to see how he steps up coming into this one.
Yeah, you cannot have any soft or cold games here against a squad like Optic. You need to, especially once you take that lead, finish them. Finish them while they're down.
Yeah. If it bleeds, kill it. You got to take it out. 250 points to win. Sure, you all know that, but for the new guys, you know, got you covered. These are going to be the players to look out for here without a doubt. Our two MVPs, our season and overall Halo Infinite MVP, squaring off against each other now. But let's start with Cycle. Let's jump into this action.
Yeah, Cycle doing the right thing, going straight for pipes. Now, I hate this play. Uncontested, but does not grab it. Actually, a little surprised as to why he didn't want to grab that weapon while he made the jump. Maybe he left it for a teammate.
I think that plasma pistol is going to handle anyone who comes up on the box, right? That's a double kill.
I guess that's why.
Good old-fashioned noob combo, baby, my favorite. They'll get that shock rifle here, Shopify eventually. But man, last shot managing to stay alive there. That's just silly.
Yeah, Bound hitting that melee just a little too early. Not getting those favorable lunges here on land, and his team is punished because of it.
The last shot did get a call like, hey, they're probably going to be pushing over toward elevator side. This is going to be Frosty and them working together. TripCat now coming in. They're going to clear that one out, and they're not going to get an opportunity to flip that. So that is just going to continue to add to the pain here for Optic Gaming. A strong start for Rebellion. I feel like I've been repeating myself for the way Rebellion have been starting these games, Dave.
And look at this. Shopify has such a strong setup, almost a little U shape here from control all the way towards pipes. And they aren't even contesting C. But Optic don't know that. So Optic feel like they're out playing Shopify. They're saying, hey, don't go for the obvious hill. Don't go straight for C. Let's go for something else. Let's go for elevator. And they're kind of walking right into Shopify's trap.
Yeah, but they did manage to flip B here. Is it going to be enough, though, right? You got last shot going to be moving up. Frosty's got a big fight happening that he ended up getting the melee off of there. So the flip might be coming in here. Start to see Optic Gaming add some points to the board, but it might be short-lived, as that A is going to get flipped instantaneously, and they're going right for B. So they're just continuing to apply this unrelenting pressure to Optic.
All that work just to get the one point. They got a couple strongholds there, but in the end, did not pan out. Now, Optic finally grabbing C, which should have been a free grab earlier. But like I said, it's generally a trap. Most people say, all right, you can't go for this open one. They're going to expect for us to go here when we're spawning Hydro.
Yeah, they did a good job of trying to make that flip happen. But Rebellion, they're just so icy in these moments. Plasma Pistol's doing some big work here, especially in these chokes. Check your corners. Oh, he's going to miss that one, but maybe the fight comes through. Instead, you're going to wait this one out. No reason to get crazy with it. This is a wild lead that you're starting to see the Rebellion build off of here. 140 and counting. And now it is Stronghold, so it is possible for them to... Oh, that sucked. It was a spider. It is Stronghold, so they can get back into this one, Optic. They just need a couple clean round of slays, and hell, maybe a trip cap or two could help out.
Yeah, starting trip cap will do the job here.
Well, look at this difference now. Shopify, the moment that they're over at long and hydro, instantly grab C. Stop that bleeding from a trip cap. But there's only so much you can do when you got a camo shock rifle renegade roaming around the map.
Yeah, but Royal 2 is wise to this one here. He jumped up on to the gold side, and he's just been waiting it out. You saw that notification come up instantly of the shock rifle being available, and he saw it disappear instantly. So that, you got to deduce, right? There's just no shot that this guy hasn't left this area anticipating where this push is going to be coming from. And they're going to try and slow it down. So instead, prioritize resources in other areas of the map to try and see if they can make an opening happen here.
Wow.
Well done.
So well done. Like you said, so smart and patient from Royal 2 there. Just waiting at gold to see if and when he decides to go long haul. And the second to go long haul, decides to get the cutoff through batteries. Doesn't take the obvious route, just through pipes.
Yeah, what a difference in approach there. Oh, just as I say that, Renegade, he's going to get his pound of flesh, manages to take him right back and grab that shock rifle too, perhaps. Make that flip happen. BNC going over to Optic Gaming. Chance for them to add some points to the board here. And now that Renegade's got this shock rifle, let's see what we can do with it. Trip cap now in effect for Optic. Maybe they'll start to add and get to this lead. Renegade, though, they need him. They got the double, maybe a triple. Looking for the shot. Is anyone there for him? Oh, boy. So close to it.
Half the team down, they know where the other half is. That's going to be Frosty going down. They knew that last player was over near long haul, so they know where the spawns are. And look at this, a continued trip cap. This is exactly what Optic needs to get back into this game.
Kind of in a similar situation you were talking about earlier, Dave, about how like C, it seems a little obvious, so on and so forth. And you can see where Optic are positioned in that.
Such a smart flank there from both sides. Amazing flank from Renegade. Also a great flank from Frosty, but both sides kind of shut down. Looks like that flank from Renegade's able to punish through, and now Shopify don't know. Do they turn around and try and deal with Renegade, or do they push through and stop this trip cap?
Well, the good news is that they were able to accomplish both seemingly here. Get themselves, he did not get an opportunity to pop that camo. So it is going to be up for grabs. Frosty gets it. Great reads from Shopify Rebellion, and now they're going to see if they can stop this bleeding here. That Optic Gaming put a world of hurt on them. Big fight happening. Renegade Frosty. Renegade gets that dub.
But looking just like that, Frosty roaming with this camo. Optic are trying to hunt him down. They need to stop this cap. They need to stop this camo. Let's go to Optic. Listen and hear how they're going to break out of this trip cap.
Nice. Watch out. I'm hitting this. I'm hitting this.
All right, Optic Gaming there. You can hear the pressure. The call-outs coming in, though. They're making this work, and it was a little bit of that indecision on just getting B, right? It's just so much work that they have to put forward just to be able to get that one spot. We're getting close to the danger zone here, Dave. In fact, we're well into the danger zone, 240 and counting if they can stop the bleeding here, which they have been at the very least for a moment, but last shot has other plans.
Yeah, they've let some of those trip caps linger on a little too long. Feels like Shopify had control of the elevator just so much longer than Optic in many of these situations. Renegade flipping it, but no room for error here.
None at all.
Shopify are just looking for a dub cap and to just hold that. And they got plenty of time. Optic's only real pressure moment here is to get around the slays, get trip cap, and play perfect Halo.
Last shot gets the big kill there onto Bound in the back of the map. Now he's got control here. They're going to move immediately toward A. That's going to be another target. Looking for a second, but he does not locate it. But the rest of the team now looking to dash on over toward A. Flip this one here. Is there anyone able to do anything towards C? It doesn't seem like it. It's just Renegade. Last shot versus Renegade here. Who's going to get the better of who in this exchange? Little game of ring around the rosy around this turbine, and it's instead going to be Renegade, but the cleanup comes in. Only a couple of points, but Optic's trying to stop it in its tracks. They got bodies on A, bodies on C, trying to make the flip happen here, but just as I say that, they're going after B, Dave.
Feels like every stronghold's contested in some way, shape, or form right now. There goes B. C is being grabbed by Renegade. All these members from Shopify are going back to grab C. And Cycle can't walk into this trap. If he gives up this free death over at A, this could be disastrous. Nice play. Smart play by Cycle just to back down and wait for Small.
He's got to win this one out against Bounds. Big battle there, and Bounds able to get the better of him. And he'll try and hold out here toward the B side of the map. They got to get this flip happening ASAP, but Bounds going to get exposed. He's weak and he's down.
Look at all three strongholds have a little bit of capture on all of them because these players are just making it such a chaotic situation. Optic still alive, only 3 points away. Shopify just need to grab one of these strongholds, but it's really going to come down to these slays. This opening kill against Renegade could be huge.
Renegade manages to get out of there, though. A little beaten up, but not done yet. He's still in the action, looking for another one above him. He's going to get the melee. That's going to be the flip. He gets B and C control. A's going over to Shopify, but they're trying to hold this one down. It's getting dicey, Dave.
This is fine now for Optic. No longer do they need the trip cap. They can hold this for 22 points. They just have to get a couple more kills. Royal 2 has a staggered death. Shopify, wait for Royal 2, and now they make their push, but just like that, Frosty's out.
Killing spree for Renegade. He's trying to get another one. Royal 2 finally stopping him, but we're getting close to the wire, folks. Look at that, the progress. Optic Gaming dug deep, and they're getting right back into this. But just as I say that, Shopify Rebellion put a body on B. They're going to stop the bleeding. Is anyone there to prevent it? No. But does anyone on Optic get toward A? No. And instead, it's the Rebellion who come out on top in dramatic fashion after one hell of a comeback from Optic Gaming.
Optic brought that back so beautifully, but just at the end, Shopify realized players were out of position from Optic. Double up into batteries and get the last few points.
You want to know what's really incredible about that too, Dave? Optic Gaming were completely outslayed in that map. 58 to 47 kills. Goes to show you that when Optic needed to turn it on right at the end, damn, they are a scary, scary team. But Rebellion, they had that little bit of cushion. They just needed to get that one play, and that's all they got.
It's crazy when you put Optic backs against the wall. They show up, they play, they fight out of those corners.
Yeah.
You saw it in game number 3 on Lattice King of the Hill as they were down 2-0 and bring it back the next 3 hills. You saw it here in this game.
Yeah.
They were down by over 110 points and bring it back at the very end. This time, narrowly being edged out by Shopify Rebellion.
Crazy to think too that had they been able to take out Renegade before he was able to grapple shot into pipes, this could have played out. This could have been over in an instant. But instead, Optic Gaming showing that when those moments, when they need to clutch up, they can. Thing is, though, is that they were in that situation to begin with, and Shopify Rebellion, just with those strong starts and continuing to just put that pressure. I mean, you were even seeing when they had 2 strongholds locked down, they were fighting always for the third.
Always fight for that third. And right here, this is the time that Optic got caught off guard. They had too many players over at C-Plat, over at Hydro side, and they didn't make a play quick enough towards B or A. And Shopify, because of that great last-minute decision and disadvantageous position from Optic, close out a game number 4, putting themselves 1 game away to punch their ticket to the grand finals.
What an achievement would that be for these guys here as we get ready for live fire. Look at that. Tied up 7-2, 7-2 on this map and mode. So if you're Optic, you got to be feeling a little bit of confidence here because look at the rest of the series layout. You get yourself that neutral bomb. You get to that point, force that map 7. Shopify, kind of sweating on that stage after how they started this series. You're right back into this one. And we're wasting no time, folks. Let's jump into the action. Live fire Slayer. Can Optic do it? Can they keep themselves alive? Or does Shopify Rebellion punch their ticket to their first ever Halo World Championship Grand Final?
Take a look at those stats, though, from Cycle. During game number 2 on Slayer, 16 kills and 2.67 KD. Damn. Also, 4,000 damage? Yeah. 4.1k damage in a Slayer is unheard of.
It's like he just spawned up and just had bullets going everywhere, It's insanity. Frosty, probably one of the best QT players in this tournament. This quantum translocator in his hands is something of beauty, but does not manage to get the kill there, but he'll be able to pop in and out when he needs to. Pound, gorgeous reads from there, not having any of those shenanigans.
No, just solely aware of that. You saw the respect that he's giving that sniper rifle, saying, my best chance to get the sniper is to somehow get a back smack or throw a plasma. But despite Bound hitting a 6-shot like that, he passes the sniper to his teammate Legends.
And that's because he's got this camo here. Frosty, not sure when that push is going to be coming through, trying to use those grenades to push him back, but that was just a clean, easy kill for the Legend himself. Early days here. This Bound's looking to get a fight going with last shot. Gets out on that one. Nice headshot onto World 2.
Such a good play from Bound to take advantage of the opportunity. One thing that Bound doesn't get enough credit for is how aggressive he is and how he can make plays during these neutral scenarios. So when he has a teammate who has a sniper him across the map, many players will just sit back and say, all right, let's our snipe do something.
Yeah.
Instead, Bound is creating opportunities, getting information, and finding out easy spots where Legend can actually go get a pick and reposition.
Yeah, that snipe that came through with the camo prompted all of Rebellion to just work the nest side of the map here. But Optic, more than wise to it, stops them, and this feels like the opposite of what we saw in that Solitude Slayer game, right? Optic Gaming with that strong start now. Exactly what the doctor ordered. You have to think, too, after the way that King of the Hill game, or rather Stronghold game, excuse me, played out, they have to have that confidence, and they should. They're Optic Gaming, for goodness sake, but they have to be feeling good about how they've been playing in this one.
Feeling real good, that's absolutely certain. But look at Renegade just behind the lines, and this is what we're seeing. Look at this comfortability now we're seeing from Optic that wasn't there before in the first couple games of the series. They're catching Shopify off guard. They're charging around without getting punished every single moment. Like this, look at this flank that he's already prepping on.
Renegade, so smart, slowing it down. You heard him just clanging and banging down low in the mud, and they were ready for it, but he stopped, he waited, he crouched for a second, and then he went right back in for the attack. Even though they end up dying there, he does manage to get, at the very least, his players tucked away in the back, allowing his teammates an opportunity to be able to make those pushes happen. And they'll get a couple of kills out of this one, keeping that lead to 8.
What a great answer kill there by Bound. He was the only one alive, only one near top center. Finds out that World 2 is weak over there, gets at least that finish, and now his team off the spawn, despite having inferior positions, have the numbers advantage.
Last shot looking for a target with this. Does find Renegade. Quite low, but is able to get out of there. Split spawn, too, for both of these players. Last shot, knew that there was going to be someone behind him. At the very least, he's able to get something out of that camo. That's going to be 3 players down here for Optic Gaming. Sniper's going to be available to grab. Formal can't win out on that fight, and World 2 is going to win instead.
World 2 trying to reposition. What does he decide to do with this?
They're coming back into this one, Dave. This was quite a lead that Optic had at one point, and we are within striking distance. But this does, like I said, feel a little similar to a Solitude game, except the roles are reversed here. Optic needs to do everything they can to just keep that pace.
Non-stop pressure on World 2. They're not letting him get comfortable. Look how long he's been at no shields for. Has to jump that sniper off the map, and what should have been Shopify's key to get back into this game and try to tie this up. All of a sudden, swim in the water.
Yeah, but Optic knew that win con, though, right? How many times have these guys played against World 2? You know what he's going to do when he gets his hands on that snipe. So you have to remove that from the equation. They shut him down. All that to say, though, Shopify Rebellion, despite being down by insurmountable numbers, have been able to come back into this. Now they're within 1 kill from tying this one up. Wow.
Look at this fight for the tower, though. Relative power position coming on up.
Man, that moment-to-moment decision-making there from Frosty, which is so gorgeous because he throws down the spiker, knowing that that player had to push. He takes the other side of the fight rather than going up against him on the right, takes the left, forces him in front of that spiker, gets the kill, and now Shopify Rebellion have the lead.
Yeah, you'll notice consistently these top players, especially when they're at a numbers disadvantage, are able to isolate a melee. They're able to force a player into a close-range fight where they either have to decide, am I going to get grenaded or am I going to get meleeed?
Bound, trying to play his life in the back of the field there. Won't be long for this world as he's taken out. And now Rebellion have been able to get themselves a little bit of a lead here, but it's a fragile one. Just 2 kills. Camo's coming up in a few. They're anticipating it. This is where this next big fight's going to be happening. And there you go, Camo online. Who's going to go and grab that one and use it to great effect? It's only a 1 kill lead. Great reads from World 2, getting behind enemy lines here. Kedor is available. That's a double kill. It doesn't get any better than that for Royal 2. Might be able to even pop him with the nade. Triple kill for the one and only.
Capitalizing on that chaos, giving his team now the lead after Optic got off to such a strong start, and he's not stopping just yet. Finding where these players are at, getting so much information. And this is what's so dangerous about Shopify. There's times where they get that slight lead, and they know when to press gas, they know when to press brake.
40-37 now for Rebellion. It's kind of what we were seeing earlier, what Optic was doing to the Rebellion, making them having to take those, you know, weird, awkward fights, 1v1s, right? Or you think it's a 1v1, but instead they are just someone lurking in the shadows, little plays like that. Now Optic looking to actually group up here, receive this pressure that's going to be coming in from the Rebellion on the garage side. And they know they have to anticipate this because the camo's in the hands of Cycle. He's able to get himself one, looking for a second.
Everyone's there too. All of Shopify heard the calls at Kedor, and everyone is collapsing wherever they're at. You look at Shopify, or you look at Frosty fighting those players over at Cuts. You see Last Shot hunting somebody down over also at Tower. All these players have been doing such a good job of hunting Optic down when they're stuck in a bad position.
6 kills remaining though for Shopify Rebellion to punch their ticket to the Halo World Championship Grand Final. Can they do it? Optic Gaming have shown that they can come back when the moment calls for it. There's only 3 kills that they need to get to tie this one up. And they gotta remove this snipe from the hands of Last Shot. If he has it in his possession, it's going to be a problem.
Look at this play, having Royal 2 lead here. I like this play, how they do this now with Sniper. Instead of always having the Sniper be the first one to expose themselves or peek out, they have somebody else do the dirty work, someone else lead the fight, get some information so that Sniper can more confidently go around and take their fights.
Last Shot didn't get the info that he wanted. Optic turtling. Last Shot creeping around the corner, is able to find one. Looking for a second. Here he goes. Might actually get pressured from the player down low, but no, he's going to die out of that one. Sniper's going to be down, but Rebellion are going to have bodies all around it, so they should be able to reclaim it now. 47-43. Only 2 kills remaining after that 48th one gets locked in.
Now I don't think anyone grabbed that snipe, but it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
The fight's going down in the garage. Gonna be coming out and make that 50. Shopify Rebellion in the grand finals with the commanding 4-1 victory over Optic Gaming.
And what a game and what a series that was. Optic showing that they can't fight back in those moments, but the Rebellion are too strong. They will punch their ticket for this Ord's first ever Halo World Championship appearance and an opportunity for the likes of Royal 2 and Frosty to hold the trophy over their head yet again, and to do so for those young men on that stage right there, Last Shot and Cycle, for a World Championship. Unreal. But now Optic, they have a date with Envy, which is quite ironic, you know, a little El Clasico, right? From back in the day in Call of Duty. Circumstances a little bit different this time around with both of these squads, but Optic Gaming certainly are going to be looking for blood when they get ready for that elimination final. But Rebellion, the day belongs to them for right now, but the job's not done yet. But if you're looking at the score line and you're thinking about Rebellion's chances in that grand final, well, I think you have to be feeling pretty good about your squad.
They're looking good, looking icy. You know, you had a lot of close games there going in favor of Shopify. You had moments where Shopify were down.
Yeah.
And somehow brought it back. But that's not the last we'll see of Optic, as you said.
Yeah.
And also, we're going to see how Envy comes out. I mean, they look so good against Luminon in their first match of the day.
My guy Descendant holding it down for the Boricuas out there. He's having a damn good event. Looking forward to seeing what he could do. But that is, of course, going to do it for us here. Dave, love you, buddy. Thank you so much for everything. Appreciate it. Thank you so much to everyone who've dealt with our shenanigans over the course of the Infinite HCS season. We're so grateful for you guys. And that's going to do it for myself and for the Legend Wall Sheet. We thank you all so much. And for now, let's send it over to another legend. We have Guy Blaze standing by with one of the players of the Rebellion.
Yo, thank you so much, G. Seattle, get loud for Shopify Rebellion. They're going to the grand finals. And I got Last Shot up here, and I believe you got the last kill in that series. Talk to me about how you and the boys are feeling now going to the grand finals, and what was y'all game plan going against this Optic Gaming team who really wants to beat y'all, man?
Feels good to be in grand finals, first time in the Worlds. You know, going into the series, we just wanted to, focus on the first two game types, and we got the job done.
You guys got the job done, but the big one isn't done yet, okay? And this is so far your highest place in Edda Worlds. Last year you got top 4. Just talk to me about how proud are you being able to play in this grand finals. You've had a crazy career, you know, even being trained by your sensei, Rescue Killer, coming all the way up here to the stage to playing with some of the best slayers in the league. How does that feel?
Yeah, it feels great. Shout out my teammates, shout out my family that's here. And yeah, we're gonna go back here and get ready for these game types.
All right, that's gonna do it for us on the stage. Lot, take us away.
Thank you so much, Blaze. Wow. Shopify Rebellion, my goodness me. I was hoping for a competitive series, to be honest with you, just because I don't want this day to be over just yet. But you just cannot deny how perfect Rebellion play, consistent game modes and game types. It's just unbelievable. And honestly, when you're looking at, you know, the graphics, right, and you're looking at the charts, who's better at what, it's really out the window at times for Rebellion. They're so strong on pretty much everything that you can never count them out, no matter who's best they're going up against. Clutch, when you're looking back at moments where you thought Optic had the lead, where you thought Optic had a hold on it potentially to come back here in this series, Rebellion denied. What does that come down to for you? What are you noticing in gameplay that really does stop to, you know, stop their opposition from applying that pressure and apply it themselves?
Yeah, I mean, when you're watching these two teams play, this is the fastest Halo you've ever seen. And coming into the season, this Optic Gaming roster formed, and we talked about how they're going to set a record for the pace of play in Halo Infinite. Well, it's actually Shopify Rebellion doing that. I think Optic are struggling at times with how fast Shopify are in their face, forcing these split spawns, forcing them to be uncomfortable and not really letting the individuals on Optic shine like we know them to be capable of. I think it's poor for Optic to have started off slow in this series, because I do think the games got super competitive throughout the series later on, but they started slow and Shopify took all the momentum with them. I think if we do see these two again, we can hopefully see a more warmed up, ready to play Optic, because I don't think that they were quite ready in games 1 and 2 really specifically, but game 3, it did turn into more of a series than what I thought was going to happen after the first 2.
And Tony, you're looking here at Shopify, just little to no hesitation there when you're looking at the B-roll as well. And I think that's something that is massive for them. And it also adds to that speed and that pace that we're kind of picking up on a little bit here. You see in the final moments of the Slayer, last shot takes the head off top tower. And then immediately following that kill, and I mean immediately, it's a swarm. The pressure is applied the second that goes into their favor. They cannot take their foot off the gas. I don't think teams are ready for that. It's incredible, and they're only growing consistently in terms of that pressure that is applied.
There's no timing loss. There's no hesitation. You give them an inch, and they often will take a mile. And the reason why Flights are able to do that is because that man on screen with the highest KD. It is so easy for Cycle, Frosty, and Last Shot to move as smoothly as they do on the map when you know World 2 simply has your back and is covering it. I love what World 2 did this series. He was phenomenal.
Yeah, I think you'll get the veterans, the guys that have been there before, the 3-time world champions, Frosty, World 2, what they brought to the table in that winners finals was everything for this Shopify team. Usually it's Cycle and Last Shot, I feel like we talk about a lot, but Frosty had so many big moments to start that series. World 2's been dominant this tournament. Those two are really having MVP-esque tournaments, and what a better tournament to do it, right? They've had such successful careers in Infinite, and they want to end this with Cycle and Last Shot getting a ring of their own as well.
You know what I love about Shopify Rebellion is my mind changes on who's performing the best literally every single series.
It could be any...
and honestly, every map too.
It could be any game.
It really can. It could be any game, any map. It changes for me time and time again because I just see something unbelievable from every single one of them. I just, honestly, it's pitch perfect right now. We'll see what can be done about that in the grand finals, but of course, Optic Gaming, they do fall flat there, 4-1. They'll be in the elimination bracket. They will be going up against MB, who have been waiting and watching and really looking at what they need to do to take down Optic Gaming, because it was right there for them. You know, they watched that series, they saw how it was done. They now need to execute that themselves. Tony, how are you feeling about this matchup for the elimination final?
over Optic Gaming. You know, obviously you got hit in the mouth real hard, and now you know you're shaking up a little bit, but obviously not knocked out. And we've seen Optic time and time again get knocked down to the elimination bracket and come back better than we saw in the winner's side. Envy, you stand in their way. You have an opportunity to take advantage of this, but it ain't gonna be easy.
Yeah, we've seen veterans several times this tournament lose in the winner's bracket, lose in the elimination bracket immediately following. So I'm looking at Optic Gaming to not fall into that same mistake. It's going to be tough to get back on your feet. You saw Renegade at the end there on the camera looking dejected, like that series got away. He knows how important that winner's bracket final series is, but I actually know that Renegade and the rest of Optic are capable of winning this elimination bracket finals and getting back to what their mission is, what their goal is. It's not the easy way, but Optic all year has never done it the easy way. It doesn't surprise me, and it won't when we see them.
I will say, let's talk about what we have going on, of course, in this incredible building. It is a celebration of Halo, and of course the final day here at Champs. It's unbelievable. Sunday brings so much, but of course all weekend we've had something amazing on standby for you guys here to get your hands on. And Blaze right now is over at the playable area. Blaze, what's going on over there?
What's up, everybody? It's Championship Sunday, and we are here in Seattle in the compound. Now, this compound has been an exclusive gift to us here at Worlds, but don't worry, you guys get a chance to play Halo Campaign Evolved in 2026. Now, we got the stage set ablaze here early off as we got our players out there competing, trying to hoist the trophy. A lot of cheers out there, but if you're in the compound, don't worry, we got these amazing HyperX headsets here for you that's toning out everything in the background so that you can get a clean, authentic Halo Campaign Evolved experience.
According to the data in their networks, the ring has some kind of deep religious significance. They call it Halo. They believe that Halo is some kind of weapon.
What sort of weapon is it?
One with unimaginable power.
Chief, you gotta find the cartographer. We'll keep him busy as long as we can.
Fire Team Charlie, we're on our way.
Touchdown! Hit it, Marine! Somebody order a warthog.
The Covenant are putting up a real fight. The cartographer must be here.
Rock and roll, rock and roll!
Give them hell, Chief.